You can follow every instruction, do therapy exercises exactly right, take every pill right on time, and still feel like you're losing ground. Why? Because shoulder surgery recovery isn't just physical, it's a mental battle. And if you don't take that battle seriously, it can quietly stall the progress. In this video, I'll show you how to build a mental strength that keeps recovery moving forward, even when it feels endless. I'm Dr. Dan Orcutt, orthopedic surgeon. I've helped thousands of people recover from shoulder injury and shoulder surgery. And you know what? I learned early on that patients are often left on their own to figure out the toughest part of recovery. And it's not the exercises, it's not the medication, it's the mental side. That's why I created this channel, to cut through the confusion, give you clarity, and make sure you don't feel like you're failing. So let's get into it. So before we dive in, I want to share something with you. I put together a free pre-op shoulder surgery checklist. It's the kind of tools I wish every patient had before surgery, because it makes the whole journey a lot less overwhelming. You can grab it down below in the link. So, what are we talking about? The mental trap. One of the biggest triggers and traps in recovery is believing you're failing even when you're doing everything right. I remember a patient who showed up to every therapy session, took their medication exactly on time as prescribed, didn't miss a single exercise at home, and still at week 3, they looked at me in the eyes and said, "I think something's wrong. I don't feel better." This is the reality. Physical milestones are visible. You can measure the motion. You can count the reps. You can record the pain scores. But the mental battles are invisible. Doubt creeps in, frustration builds, and that little voice in your head saying, maybe you're not healing right. So let me be clear. Those thoughts are normal. They don't mean you're failing. They mean you're human. So number 2, the isolation problem. Another challenge is isolation, especially during the sling phase. If you've been there, you know what I mean. The sling is not just an inconvenience. It feels sort of like a prison. Suddenly, even the smallest tasks become ordeals. Pouring a cup of coffee, buttoning a shirt, even brushing your teeth. It's not just the sling that limits you, it's this sense that your independence is gone. And that weighs heavily on many people's minds. That's why it's so important to build support systems early. It doesn't have to be a big network. It can be one friend who checks in, a simple daily routine, an online group like ours where others understand what's going on, what you're going through. Anything that reminds you that you are not in this alone. I'd love to hear from you in the comments. What has been the hardest part of recovery for you so far? Is it the physical pain or the mental side? Drop a comment below. You'll see I'm pretty quick. I'm going to read it and I will respond to it. So the third problem, the plateau myth. One of the biggest myths in recovery is that you should move in a straight line. In reality, recovery comes in waves. One week you feel like you're making progress. The next time you feel like you're stuck. One night's easy in bed, one's not. I had a patient convinced that they had stalled at week 6. They said, "Doc, I think I've hit my limit." So we pulled out their therapy notes from 1 week ago. And at the start, they could barely move their arm. By week 6, they had doubled their range of motion. The progress was actually huge. They just couldn't see it in the moment. Here's the truth. Plateaus are not failures. They are checkpoints. Proof that you've already climbed the hill. Lastly, section 4, building resilience daily. So how do you build the mental strength to keep going day after day? First, reframe setbacks. That stiffness you feel, it doesn't mean surgery fails. It means it's your body's protecting the repair. Second, create micro goals. Instead of measuring success by how far you can lift your arm up, celebrate the day when you get dressed with that help. Celebrate the night you finally sleep more than 3 hours in a row. Those small wins build momentum. And third, structured mornings. I like to call it like the miracle morning recovery. It doesn't need to be complicated. A couple deep breaths, a little gratitude for something, gentle motion to remind yourself that you're still in control. I will never forget the joy on a patient's face when they said, "I finally slept through the night." That single win gave them energy to push forward. Recovery isn't about grand breakthroughs. It's about stacking small victories, one at a time. So if this video is helping you, if it's helping in recovery in a different way, if it's hitting you a little different, please hit the like button. Please subscribe to the channel. That way YouTube knows to share it with others who are struggling. And subscribe if you want clear, honest answers that make process easier to understand. So let's be honest, setbacks are a part of recovery. I had a patient who told me, I think I ruined everything. What happened? They reached too far too soon. The shoulder flared up, pain spiked, they panicked. But here's the reality. After a couple of days of rest and ice, the shoulder calmed down. No lasting harm, no failed surgery, one misstep that didn't erase months of progress. Mental strength isn't about avoiding every setback. It's about how you respond when the setback happens. Shoulder surgery recovery is as much about the mindset as it is about the muscles. If you can reframe the battle, build your support, track your progress, you'll recover not only stronger, but with a peace of mind. So don't forget to grab your pre-op shoulder checklist in the link below. And remember, you're not failing. The system is failing you. It's not preparing you well, but you've got this.